Hi.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. From Marlay House in Marlay Park, from the beautiful surroundings of the Marlay domain, and from this lovely 17th century house. We're going to be singing a few songs with Ó'Maonlaí, and my name is Kateřina García, and we'd like to welcome the participants of the annual Ephesus Conference 2021 in Prague, which is held online. So anyway, we'll get rolling.
Yeah. So we met through our children, didn't we? At the school gate, and we were lucky enough to have children in a school called Ó'Maonlaí, which is Gaelic, an Irish-speaking school, and there's a lot of cultural mindedness in the school, and a lot of people who are strongly energized, nourished, and driven, I suppose, by culture. And García and we met at a concert. Well, I was curating a concert to celebrate midsummer and or midwinter. Was it midsummer or midwinter? It was something.
Midwinter, I think.
It was midwinter, and it was 2016, and captivated by her command of these songs that are rich with story and how a voice can embody the history of a people. It never ceases to amaze me. So, and I would like to start first with a song that I wrote myself in Connemara when somebody asked me would I consider writing a song in my own native language, which I hadn't done. I'm well known as a rock and roll singer, and but I'm also, in Ireland, I'm well known as a singer in the tradition of Irish. So this is a song called The Song of Possibilities. And really, I just put a lot of positive images. I suppose we're being led to believe so many things that are quite absurd sometimes, like the color of your washing after you use a particular washing powder. So if you're willing, you can, if you want to believe that, you can believe that. Or if you want to believe anything, the sky really is the limit. And I think that's what this song is about. So.
Farjacht, ne gert hart.
is go dictar bonga free. Kateřina rivan lasında tornaşline saya taran mafetir da sagabino hordo veal.
Thank you so much, Liam. That's
Thank you for joining me on that.
beautiful. The next song, well, the song that I thought we could follow Á'Maonlaí na Féidearthachta with is a song that I first heard when I think I was about 14, and it really struck a note for its deep sentiment of pacifism, for its disdain of pointless conflict, of violence, and for its celebration of love and sacrifice in the name of love. It's the version of the song that I sing. The song is called "The Banks of the Nile," and it reflects the history of the Napoleonic Wars. The version that I sing, I believe, is English, but it is found in different versions in the Irish tradition as well. And it's been with me for all those years, and I'm really happy to be able to sing it.
Where did you hear it then?
Well, the interesting thing, I was living in Barcelona at the time, and I got this recording from my father. He gave me a cassette back in the day, and it was actually Sandy Denny who sang this version.
Okay.
And I learned it and have been singing it more or less to myself ever since. Very, very seldom, but it's a beautiful, beautiful love song.
And you grew up?
I grew up in Barcelona. I was born in Prague.
Okay, amazing.
In the heart of a culturally really mixed family.
Yeah.
My mother is Czech, but my father was Spanish-Russian, of Spanish-Russian heritage. And his father was a Republican officer during the Spanish Civil War, who was exiled first to France and then to Russia, where he met my grandmother, and after a kind of an odyssey in the east, across the east of Europe and through the former Yugoslavia, they set anchors in Prague, and that's where my father was born and where my parents met. But after being born in Prague, I grew up and was raised in Barcelona.
Okay, amazing.
In Spain during the period of transition to democracy. So that was a very interesting time to be in Catalonia as well. So yeah, that's where I started listening to the banks of the Nile, and just completely,
I know the way a song can do that. Yeah, it just
struck a note at the time.
Please, let's hear it.
Oh, hark, the drums do beat, my love. No longer can we stay. The bugle horns are sounding it's many a weary mile to join the British Army on the banks of the Nile. Oh, Johnny, dearest Johnny, don't leave me here to mourn. Don't make me curse and rue the day that ever I was born. For the parting of our love would be like parting with my life. So stay at home, my dearest love, and I will be your wife. Oh, Nancy, dearest Nancy, sure that will never do. For the government has ordered, and we are bound to go. For the government has ordered, and the Queen, she gives command, and I am bound on oath, my love, to serve in a foreign land. But I'll cut off my yellow hair, and I'll march along with you. I will dress myself in uniform, and I'll see Egypt too. I will march beneath your banner, while fortune she do smile, and we will comfort one another on the banks of the Nile. Your waist, it is too slender, and your fingers, they are too small. The sultry sons of Egypt your rosy cheeks would spoil. There the cannons, they do rattle, and the bullets, they do fly, and the silver trumpets sound so loud to hide the dismal cries. Oh, cursed be those cruel wars, when whenever they began. For they've robbed our country of many a handsome man. They have robbed us of our sweethearts. Now their bodies they feed the lions on the dry and sandy deserts that are the banks of the Nile. So, and the story continues.
Yeah.
The story moves on and brings us to the north of Spain, I believe.
Yeah. To Galicia.
Yes.
It's funny, I was listening to the radio coming here, and you don't hear the word Galicia every day, but sure enough, the guy on the radio said, and we have some people here listening from Galicia. In Spain, he said. From Galicia in Spain. Such was his enthusiasm. Yes, today is the feast day of Columcille, and Columcille is a saint well known in Ireland as a navigator, as somebody who travelled, and I suppose somebody who lived a lifestyle that went against the tide of what we've just been talking about, the tide of the need to dominate or the need to own everything, you know, and those people who recognize the absurdity of that way of thinking, and also recognize the cruelty of that way of thinking. Some of them would have been called saints, I suppose, and Columcille was one. And there was a man whose name we both know, Danny Sheehy. I met him when I was about 15 years old, and my father introduced me to this man who was a great wild cultural living icon, and a boatman, a fisherman, a man who knew the plants and their native names of his own area and saw the value of that. And a man who just, a human, a real human, you know, and a man who looked things with a very piercing eye, and a man in love with his native culture. And so we celebrate his life. He passed away 4 years ago on this day on a boat in the north of Spain, off the coast of Galicia and Portugal, where the Miña meets the sea. We were in a boat, and a wave took us from the left, and the next thing we were in the water, and poor Danny didn't survive. But for Danny to have died on such a day, he loved symbolism. So I can only rejoice in that part of the story, that Danny would have taken great pleasure in the fact that his last breath was in such a place, which was on the Camino, the Camino de Santiago, the holy pilgrimage, being on a pilgrimage himself on a boat, on an Umrav, Naifa. And he loved the symbolism of things and how things balanced, the poetry of things. So I'm going to sing a song that another man who was on that boat, a singer, Brown O'Beglioch, translated this song, the cantiga, one of the cantigas of Galicia. He translated it into Irish. So we're going to share it. And
yes, we're going to establish this dialogue between the cantiga number 1 of Martin Kodaks, who is I believe the only author that we know by name of the so-called Galician cantigas de amigo. Martin Kodaks lived in the late 13th, at the turn of the 13th and 14th century, and he composed these poems, these cantigas de amigo, these songs of the friend or of the beloved, in a particular style, with a particular narrative voice. They are songs of longing, songs of possible loss, but this loss is within the realm of possibility. We don't know.
Yeah.
And the text by Martin Kodaks expresses this longing. It is a conversation with the sea, really, with the tides, with the waves at Vigo, and the questioning of the sea, of where is my beloved?
Where is my beloved?
Friend?
And will you bring him back? Or
will you bring him back? Will I see him soon?
Will I see him? Will he come? Will he come?
So, it's that time again. We are going to perform the last two songs of our recital. And they are going to be two songs from Moravia to honor the fact that this year the Ephesus Conference is organized by Charles University Prague. So we would like to thank the organizers of the conference, in particular Radvan Markus, for making this performance possible. The two songs, in a way, close the circle that was initiated by our own Federachta at the beginning, the Song of Possibilities. Those are two songs of possibilities. They are traditional songs from the region of Moravia, and they both recount possible scenarios. The first one, Snila jsem jo snila, I Had a Dream, was collected from a lady by the name of Anna Dreviana in Janovice u Frýdku. And in it, a young girl or a mature woman, whichever you would like to project into the song, is considering were she given a choice to live her life again, she would rather be an apple tree, a young apple tree in an orchard. And in spring, she would fill the air with the scent of apple blossoms. And in the autumn, she would entice the world with beautiful, ripe apples. And we will follow this song with another Moravian song, this time from the village of Komňa. Lubi sami lubi, I love, yes, I love. The girl is making her choice between three lads, three young men. And we are going to be delighted to invite Beta Bajgertova, our camera woman, an independent filmmaker, to join us in these two songs. Snila jsem jo snila, kdybych volit měla mladou jablunečku, v sadě bych být chtěla. V sadě bych být chtěla. Z vesna bych voňala bílými kvítkami. Z jeskyně vábila pěknými jábkami. Pěknými jábkami. Snila jsem jo snila, kdybych volit měla mladou jablu sadě bych být chtěla, v sadě bych být chtěla, z vesna bych voňala bílými kvítkami. Z jesíněva byla pěknými jabkami, pěknými jabkami. Snila jsem jo snila, kdybych volit měla mladou jablunečku, v sadě bych být chtěla, v sadě bych být chtěla, z vesna bych voňala bílými kvítkami. Z jesíněva byla pěknými jabkami, pěknými jabkami. Ľúbi sa mi, ľúbi to trojmenečko, Janovo, Jurovo, Šajkovo všecko. Janovo, Jurovo, to pomažu blatem, Antošo, Hajkovo vymaluju zlatem. Janovo, Jurovo, zvinu do listečka, Antošo, Hajkovo, do svého srdečka.
Janovou rovro svinu do lístečka, Antošo hajko do svého srdečka, Antošo hajko